Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is, are you seeking the Lord with your whole heart? So oftentimes I have heard of people saying that they're seeking the Lord, but they're saying that they still do not feel the Lord's presence in their lives. And the Lord is still not talking to them and all these different type of things, but they say that they are seeking the Lord. And one time I had the opportunity to ask someone, are you truly seeking the Lord? And what I mean by truly seeking the Lord, like, are you truly seeking the Lord with your whole heart? Do you truly believe in the Lord? Do you truly trust in the Lord? And they said that they weren't truly seeking the Lord with their whole heart when it came down to it. So what I realize is that oftentimes people say that they're seeking the Lord because they're reading the Bible here and there. They're going to church here and there. They're doing little things here and there, which is seeking the Lord ultimately. But are you seeking him with your whole heart? Because there's a difference in just seeking the Lord versus seeking him with your whole heart. Because the start of seeking the Lord is, like I said, reading your word, going to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beginning stages of seeking the Lord. But seeking him with your whole heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a difference in seeking him and seeking him with your whole heart. Because we have to understand that some people seek the Lord for different reasons, right? So you can seek the Lord, but you're not seeking him for the reasons that you should be seeking him. So when you seek him with your whole heart, that's when you are seeking the Lord for the right reasons, the reasons that you should be seeking the Lord. Because, baby, when you seek the Lord with your whole heart, it shows. And the Lord knows. You feel it. There's a difference. And the Lord begins to reveal himself to you in ways that you've never seen. He begins to speak to you in ways that you've never heard. When you're truly seeking him with your whole heart, baby, there's no way that you are seeking the Lord with your whole heart and the Lord has not come to you in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, like, when you really, really, really get down and seek the Lord, baby, it shows. You know. And people forget that God knows our heart. And God sees the heart. He knows the real reason that you're seeking him. He knows what your intentions are. You cannot hide from the Lord. So some people are only seeking the Lord to get something out of it, as in personal gain. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeking him for the right reasons. They're not seeking the Lord to get to know who the Lord is. They're not seeking the Lord to live right by the Lord. They're not seeking the Lord to change their lives and to do right by other people. They're not seeking the Lord to see what he expects from us, baby. They're not seeking the Lord for the right reasons. And then people get mad and wonder why they're not getting the results that they desire. And they say, oh, I've been seeking the Lord and he hasn't been speaking to me. And I don't feel his presence and I don't feel a change. Well, that's because he knows your heart and he knows that you're not wholeheartedly seeking him. He knows your intentions. You're not seeking him with your whole heart. Sometimes a lot of people are seeking the Lord for their own selfish desires, baby. And we got to talk about it because it's happening often. And I noticed that when I came to the Lord, I noticed I couldn't understand it. And I'm like, how are people saying that I just don't, I always had a hard time believing that someone is truly seeking the Lord earnestly, but not hearing from the Lord or feeling his presence. I had a hard time believing that and understanding that and wrapping my head around that. But then I realized the more I've listened to people's stories and listened to people's testimonies and heard people admitting that they wasn't truly seeking the Lord and that they were seeking him for the wrong reason. When I came across people in real life and they were also doing those things and saying the same thing, it made me realize that people don't know the real way to seek the Lord. They think, okay, I'm opening my Bible and I'm reading a few scriptures. I'm seeking him. Where's your heart at? What are your intentions? Are you seeking him with your whole heart, baby? You know what I'm saying? So people get the idea of seeking the Lord wrong. And then they're like, well, he's not speaking to me and I'm not hearing him and I don't feel his presence. You're not truly seeking him. That's why. You're not seeking him with your heart. You're seeking him with your flesh. See, and people think you have to seek the Lord, just have to seek the Lord, which is true. But if you're not doing it with your whole heart, then you won't get the full effect, baby. You won't get the full results because you're not putting your heart in it. And God knows who's not putting their heart into this. You're seeking him, but it's empty. You're seeking him, but it's selfish. For your own selfish needs, for your own personal gain. You know what I'm saying? People think you just could seek, like, oh, let me read a few scriptures and the Lord is going to just start doing miraculous things in your life. Baby, the Lord knows what you're doing. If you ain't doing it for the right reasons and you ain't doing it with your heart, baby. And in my personal life, I know that when you truly seek him with your whole heart, that he shows up and speaks in ways that you couldn't even imagine, because I've experienced this in my personal life. Other people have experienced it and told their testimonies, and I've seen it in his word. And, you know, I don't want to say that this is everyone's situation, you know, that the reason why you're not hearing from the Lord or experiencing the Lord is because you're not seeking him with your whole heart. But like I said, I've personally have witnessed people throw fits claiming that they're not hearing from God or feeling God's presence, but those same people were also not seeking the Lord with their whole heart and with pure and true intentions. So this is a common thing that I've noticed. This is really common. And you got people walking around here mad at God because they say they're not hearing from or feeling his presence, but they're also not even seeking him with pure intentions. Pure intentions. They're also not seeking him with their whole heart. There's a way that you got to come to the Lord. See, a lot of people don't know that. You can come to the Lord any type of way when it comes to trying to get your life together. But when you are seeking the Lord, there's still a way that you have to come to him within your heart, is what I'm saying. Your heart posture, baby. So we have to check our heart posture when it comes to God and how you're seeking him. And a lot of people not doing that. I'm telling you, it's so many people that's literally angry at God because of something that they're doing. And they're mad because they don't think God knows that, you know, they don't think that God can see their heart. They don't think God knows. So what's coming out of their mouth is that they're seeking the Lord. But what's in their heart, God is looking like, no, you're not. You're not truly seeking me. You want a better life. And I can give that to you, but you have to seek me with your whole heart. You're not just about to get that out of me without seeking me with your whole heart. You just want to see what you can get out of me. You're not truly seeking me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people think that they slick when it comes to God. So then they go around telling people, well, I'm seeking him and he ain't doing nothing. How are you seeking the Lord? Check your heart posture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am big on accountability when it comes to, like, because I've noticed that this is a common thing, not even just this topic, but in general, I've noticed that people who's walk with Christ, they do not examine themselves. They do not examine their hearts. They don't examine their intentions. And they just point fingers at God. But y'all must forget that he knows what you're thinking. He knows your intentions. He knows your heart. So if it ain't pure in there, God sees that and God knows that. And if you're not truly seeking the Lord with your heart, you don't truly want it. I'm talking about fully surrendering, like, Lord, I'm done. I need you. Whatever it is you want me to do. I'm talking about really trying to get to know the Lord and his word. That's seeking the Lord. I'm not talking about praying to the Lord like what you can get from him. We talking about really seeking the Lord, baby. So I got a few scriptures on today. The first one is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 29, and it says, but if from there you seek the Lord your God, you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul, baby. You will find him if you seek him with all your heart and all your soul, baby. Think if you ain't seeking him with all your heart and all your soul, I'm gonna need you to think about that's probably the reason why you haven't truly found the Lord. Like I said before in another video, it takes two in a relationship, baby. And if you not going all in to seek the Lord with your whole heart and you expecting to get something back out of the Lord and you ain't putting nothing in, baby, please. You will find him if you seek him with your whole heart and your whole soul, baby. And his word does not lie. It cannot lie. I experienced this in my personal life. And when I tell you, when I went to seek the Lord, and I'm talking about with my whole heart, I'm not talking about half in it. You will find him. If that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. And that's why I have a hard time believing that people is seeking him with their whole heart and not finding him. Because his word is the truth. And because I've experienced it. So I know that it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So we got Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13. And it says, where is it? You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. He's clear on that. And this is like another one, like the video that I had did about delight yourself in the Lord and you'll get the desires of all your heart. This is another one that I feel like people like misinterpret. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't know the real definition of seeking the Lord, and also the fact that he mentions that we have to seek him with our whole heart. So people is not fully seeking the Lord or not truly seeking the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They have the definitions confused, and they have the way that you're supposed to seek the Lord confused. And a lot of this stuff is like people misunderstand it. And a lot of times, like a lot of scripture is misunderstood and people are not fully and thoroughly understanding it, or sometimes not even trying to understand it. And then they're getting mad at God because they feel like what he said in his word is not true. But they don't ever go back to examine themselves, is what I've noticed. People do not examine themselves when it comes to God. At all. They don't take no accountability. And it's just, these things have to be pointed out. And you have to make sure that you understand scripture and get the clear and correct understanding of scripture, so you won't be mad at God or blaming God for things that is not on him. He can't help the fact if you're not seeking him with your whole heart. He said in his word, if you seek him with your whole heart and your whole soul, you will find him. If you're not doing that, baby, that is on you, not God. He cannot help that. He cannot control that. You are your own person that he gave free will to, baby. You got to want to seek the Lord. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You have to want to seek the Lord with your whole heart. If you don't want it, baby, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's something you got to want. We got Psalm chapter 119 verse 2. And it says, blessed are those who keep his statutes and seek him with all their heart. Verse 3 says, they do no wrong, but follow his ways. Blessed are those who keep his statutes and seek him with all their heart. Man, the word is so good. And the word is so clear. But if you don't understand it, baby, you will ruin yourself by having the wrong understanding of the word. And that's another reason why it's good to have, like, you know, church and a teacher, you know, because a lot of people do not understand scripture and they misinterpret scripture and, you know, different things like that, which is normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to understand and get everything. But that's why I think it's important for us to, you know, have people that do know the scriptures and understanding, so people could break this stuff down and explain this stuff to you, because there's a lot of people, like I said, walking around with anger and stuff with the Lord. And if you sit down and explain these things to people, and they can reevaluate and they can think about, like, oh wow, you're right, I didn't look at it that way. Because as we know, like, a lot of people interpret scripture differently, you know. So that is something that is so important to me, because I have noticed that a lot of things are just misinterpreted, misunderstood. And because of that, it is hardening a lot of people's heart, a lot of Christians' heart. And yeah. So if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.